Welcome to Motorize D, your #1 source for new and used parts. Today's spotlight, the Yamaha XTZ 750 Super Tenere. We're diving into its character, engineering, everyday practicality, and what to look for before you buy. The 750 is truly Dakar-bred, twin headlights, a 26-liter tank for 400-plus kilometer stages, and beneath it a CC parallel twin. Liquid-cooled DOHC, 5 valves per cylinder. Good for around 70 model 1989-1996. We'll cover strengths, weaknesses, and smart upgrades, from stainless braided brake lines to luggage systems, and flag common trouble spots like brittle intake boots, the regulator rectifier, and carb synchronization. Who's this rugged travel machine for? Everyone from weekend adventurers to long-distance travelers with full luggage. In 1989, Yamaha launched the XTZ 750 Super Tenere, the street-legal sister to its YZ Dakar Works racers. Stefan Peter Hansel's victories defined its image, while the production model was gently refined, the early 3LD 8991, followed by the 3YF 9296. Designed for Europe and never officially exported to the US, it became the blueprint for Yamaha's big adventure tourers. The core recipe, a 10-valve parallel twin with around 69 horsepower, 21 17-inch spoked wheels, a 26-liter tank, and twin front discs. A stout double-cradle steel frame backs up the long-travel 43mm fork on rough tracks and handles heavy luggage with ease. The monocross rear with linkage delivers a healthy 215mm of travel. In 2010, the XT1200Z revived that DNA in modernized form. Scene 3, the XT750 Super Tenere growls behind its fairing. The 749cc parallel twin DOHC 5 valves per cylinder, the legendary Genesis head, responds crisply to its Mikuni BDS T38s. In third, the front goes light on a gravel climb, 68 Nm at 6,750 RPM, shoving it along. The 43mm fork soaks up the rough with 235mm of travel. Twin 245mm discs up front and a 220mm rear haul it down, while the 21 17-inch spoked wheels, 90-90-21, 30-80-17, hold a line. No ABS, just honest TCI ignition and a precise 5-speed box with chain drive. A 26-liter tank promises range, built 1989-1996, tough enough to carry Dakar DNA onto the road. Design and ergonomics. The Super Tenere breathes rally spirit. A wide fairing, twin headlights, and a clear, easy-to-read cockpit. An analog tack paired with an LCD and onboard computer for range and fuel use. The 23-liter tank is slim at the sides so your knees stay tucked in, ideal for standing off-road. The seat adjusts between 845 and 870 millimeters, and the 22mm handlebar gives you plenty of leverage. Long foot peg mounts ease the knee angle. The rubber inserts pop out if you want more feel. The XT1200Z's spoked, tubeless 19-17-inch wheels shrug off hits. A generous rear rack comes standard for a duffel or top case. Practical too, rub rails along the flanks that forgive knocks and keep it looking good for the long haul. Handling and everyday practicality. On the road, the XTZ 750 rides with surprising composure. Its parallel twin with 2 balance shafts and a 5-valve Genesis head runs silky smooth and pulls cleanly from 3,000 RPM. A long travel conventional fork, about 230 millimeters, and the 21-inch front wheel iron out patchy tarmac, while the 1,505mm wheelbase keeps things calm at speed. Light off-road work is intuitive from a standing position, but the fully fueled 235 kilograms and the 17-inch rear wheels set the limits. Day-to-day perks include effective wind protection from the twin headlight fairing, a generous pillion seat, and 400-plus kilometers range from the 26-liter tank. Under hard braking, the front end does dive noticeably. If you often ride with luggage, dial in the spring preload carefully, or the 750 can feel wallowy. The long-legged 5-speed gearing keeps revs and fuel use down. Strengths and highlights. The 750 Tenere blends genuine Dakar DNA with everyday versatility. Its 749cc DOHC parallel twin with 5-valve Genesis heads has a grunty character, is built to last, and thanks to twin CV carbs, avoids electronics overload. Long travel suspension, 21 17-inch spoked wheels, a 43mm telescopic fork, and a torsionally rigid double cradle steel frame give you ample reserves off-road. On tarmac, twin 245mm front discs deliver dependable stopping power. For the long haul, a 26-liter tank, wide bars, an effective screen, and an 865mm seat with good knee support. Travel-ready touches include the bolt-on subframe and a rugged passenger grab handle luggage rack setup. Day-to-day, the standard twin H4 headlights offer a uniform beam and can be easily upgraded to modern bulbs, visually echoing the YZ750T Rally. Tough as it is, the XTZ 750, 3LD 1989-1995, has a few weak spots. As the Mikuni BDST-38 carb diaphragms and the intake boots age, you get lean running, a hunting idle, and surging. The regulator rectifier tucked in behind the fairing overheats. A modern MOSFET unit and better airflow fix it. The thin-walled exhaust collector under the engine rusts, and the stock shock loses a lot of damping after about 40 to 60,000 kilometers. Worn steering head bearings, corroded spokes, and seized linkage bearings are common. The 43mm fork dives badly. Progressive springs and a higher oil level help. In real-world use, the modest alternator runs out of headroom with heated grips and auxiliary lights. And that 26-liter tank makes the 5-valve parallel twin very front-heavy when full, and a handful to wrestle off-road. Accessories and customization. The XT660Z Tenere 2 to 2016 is a tinkerer's delight. For luggage, Hepco and Becker or Givi monokey racks are a solid bet. A heavy-duty bash plate from Touratech or Off the Road protects the under-engine collector. The 43mm fork benefits from progressive springs, e.g. Wilbur's, and braided steel brake lines deliver noticeably better feedback. For aero, go with an MRA tall screen and stout handguards. Electrically, H7 LED bulbs in the twin headlights, wired via a relay, add plenty of light without overloading the system. There's no CAN bus to worry about. Ergonomics, a 28.6mm handlebar kit, fat bar with adapters, plus wider rally foot pegs. Optionally, a shorter 14-tooth front sprocket boosts off-road traction. Tires range from all-road to aggressive knobbies in 90-90-21 up front and 130-80-17 out back. With the 23-liter tank, diligent tire pressure checks pay off on tour. Market value and buying checklist. Well-kept XTZ 750s 3L3YF usually fetch $2,500 to $5,000. Very original, well-documented bikes can top €6,000. What to check? Cracked or porous diaphragms in the Mikuni BDST-38 carbs, split intake boots play in the steering head bearings, a tired rear shock, rusty collector headers, corroded spoke nipples and rim flanges, and cracks in the fairing. Electrics. Measure charging voltage around 14 volts. The regulator rectifier lives in a hot spot. A service history with valve clearance checks about every 26,000 kilometers is worth its weight in gold. Original plastics are scarce and pricey. Any aftermarket parts should be properly documented. Frame codes 38991 and 3YF9296 make parts sourcing easier. The 3YF got a slightly improved oiling system. Mileages north of 80,000 kilometers aren't an issue if the bike's been looked after. Model specifics: 26-liter tank and 21 17-inch wheels. Check for dents and wheel runout. Verdict and buying advice. The Yamaha XTZ 750 Super Tenere is a characterful rally-bred machine. A tough 10-valve parallel twin, 5-speed box, 21-17-inch wheels, no ABS, and you do feel the weight. Thanks to a 26-liter tank and Mikuni BDS-38 twin carbs, it offers real range and crisp throttle response. 70 horsepower and 68 Nm are plenty for back roads and gravel. Ergonomics are spot on, and the chassis, 43mm fork, really wakes up with progressive springs and a fresh shock. Watch for torn carb diaphragms, reg rec and alternator issues, a rusty collector box, plus loose spokes and play in the steering head bearings. A healthy 3LD 3YF with serviced brakes and a well-maintained suspension is worth every penny. Recommendation: buy if condition, history, and price line up. Ideal for purists, overlanders, and DIY tinkerers.